Meet Pebble, my 2022 Mini Cooper S, a posh go-kart with blinding lights, lots of color, and lots of personality. So Mini Coopers have been around since the late 1950s, and they're known for not just their classic British style, but extremely nimble performance. From the engineering standpoint, the Mini Cooper is known for a few things. Wheels being pushed all the way out to the edge of the frame, and a sideways engine, which gives the passengers more room in the cockpit and a tighter turn radius. These guys have been built for fun, lightweight, economical racing from day one, but we're lucky enough to have them be street legal so we can drive them every day. So right off the bat, if you guys know me, you know that headlights and taillights are kind of what got me into vehicle design to begin with, so I always like to pay special attention to those. And so that's one thing that really stood out to me on the 2022 model specifically is the dynamic optic headlights. Another plus in the 2022 design is the revised design overall. So as you can see, we have the black grille and wheels that match the paint, which gives this quirky car a little bit of an edgy vibe to it. Checking out the back, the Union Jack taillights here are standard on all new models. So this is not just the base model Mini Cooper, this is actually the Mini Cooper S, which means we've got a little extra spice to play with here. So this engine is slightly larger than the base model with 189 horsepower, 207 pound-feet of torque, and curb weight just shy of 3,000 pounds. So here we have 4 cylinders and a pretty light car, which translates to a zippy little go-kart. All right, let's hop in. So one of the biggest improvements on the 2022 model is there's such a huge emphasis on the driver's experience. Now, I want to give a quick shout out because this particular model was designed in part with a German design firm called incar that also has an office in Los Angeles. So what Icon did is they did a whole case study on the driving experience with Mini Cooper over the years and how can we maximize that and make it not only the most fun, but the most usable. So this year's all about that digital dash. You can see here with the instrument panel that it's pretty much all digital here with a very minimalist, high contrast design. Gets right to the point with the information in a clear, concise way. So this is the 7-speed automatic or auto manual. You get to have the fun part of shifting when you feel like having that higher level of interactivity with the car, and you can kind of turn off that manual shifting when you don't feel like having a heavier mental load. Another thing that's new in the 2022 model is this huge 8.8-inch touchscreen digital display paired with the old school style of the ignition switch here, and you've got another nod to the classic British styling but with a very minimal and non-pretentious focus. All right, let's see how she drives. So we've got 3 main driving modes here: green, mid, and sport. So green mode, as you can guess, helps you save fuel. When this gets activated, the car will regulate your acceleration and adapt climate control. I recommend this mode for city driving when you don't really need to be going that fast or when traffic is stop and go. Mid mode is what the car starts in, and it's a balanced blend of performance and efficiency. Sport mode maximizes your throttle response and tightens your steering. This is the mode you're going to want to be in if you decide to take your car to the track. Just don't drive it all the way to the track in sport mode because it does eat up the fuel. All right, so I always love going to different kind of local coffee shops. And so today I wanted to take you guys to this place in Pasadena, kind of La Cañada, Flint Ridge area. And it's called Constellation Coffee. So we're at the top of Angeles Crest Highway right now at a place called Newcomb's Ranch. So we're gonna go all the way back down the hill back down the mountain. And we're gonna go get some coffee. So let's see how it feels when you go into green mode. So when you're in green mode, you can definitely feel a little restrained. You can definitely tell that you're being throttled a little bit. It's definitely not as peppy. There's not as much instant response. You're definitely having a slower ride. But what's nice is that it does tell you on the instrument panel how much gas you're saving. So, if you're like on that last little bit of gas on your way to the gas station, this is definitely a great mode for that. I don't think it's good for what I'm doing right now, which is driving down Angeles Crest. Because obviously if you guys have driven up here, you know that it's not really about saving gas up here. It's definitely about going fast. But I will say, since this is auto manual, the nice thing with that is I can just start downshifting a little bit. And now I'm in 3rd gear going 50 miles an hour. Now I'm higher up in the power band. So now that I'm higher up in there, I'm getting a little bit more of that response, which is kind of like a way to play around with the green feature. On the note of gas mileage, you won't have to use the green feature all that often. So usually it gets about 27 miles a gallon, which is pretty good. But this is just a good feature to have, if you're trying to be more eco-friendly or you're doing city driving and maybe you don't need to be as fast, like maybe if you're on the freeway. All right, let's go ahead and try mid. the standard mode, it's normal, right? So you can definitely, compared to the green driving mode, definitely feel a little bit more freedom. So right now I'm in third gear, going about 48 miles an hour, and it's at about 3,500 RPM. So that's decently good. It's pretty responsive overall. It's I'd say it's, you know, kind of like the name says, it's like neither here nor there, it's mid. Now let's go ahead and try sport mode. Ooh, okay. Oh yeah, so like immediately you just feel so much more responsiveness in the turbo. Ooh, yeah, no, she's got some kick to her. Okay, so now I'm still in third gear, going about 60. Yeah, sport mode is basically go-kart mode. If you want to just whip it and let this thing ride and go into full-on go-kart mode, this is it. And I mean, even when you shift into sport mode, the icon for it is a little go-kart. So it's like, it's so much fun. Yeah, if you're driving up Angeles Crest Highway like I am right now, this is definitely the mode that you want. It's a lot more responsive, and it's just a lot more like, there's just pep to it, and it's just really fun. Also, another nice thing with the sport mode is you have better handling, right? Which is, again, super important if you're going to be up on this windy mountain road and you're going to be not drifting, but, you know, you're going to be, you want to turn tightly, right, around corners. And sometimes you don't know who's coming at you. You want to make sure that you're like staying as tightly in your lane as you possibly can while going as fast as you can. Sport mode is definitely what you want for that. Yeah, no, sport mode is awesome. It's such a smooth drive. I mean, it really, and it's so responsive, right? So if I slow down a little bit here, all right, so see, I kind of slow down, and then if I wanted to pick it up like that, oof, it just zips. It just zips. I mean, this is definitely why I got the S instead of just the base model, is because you want that little extra spice, you know what I'm saying? You need that little bit of extra pep with it. So today I wanted to switch it up, and I decided to get an herbal tea. One, because it's 7 p.m., and two, because I just wanted to try something besides coffee. But Constellation Coffee makes fabulous, fabulous lattes, don't get me wrong, but they also have really good teas. So today I'm drinking what's called a tangerine white. So it's a white tea, and it's very light and has a lot of citrusy notes to it. So there's passion fruit, there's orange zest, there's lemongrass. It's just very light, which is perfect for summer. So one thing that I love about this car, again, from the human-centered design perspective, because I am not a mechanical engineer, is how it really just has such an effective use of color. So with the infotainment system, having that big color wheel, right? Being able to utilize color in such a way that it tells you so many bits of information, but it's all just from one main component. I mean, that's genius, right? So the color wheel, when you look at it, it talks about, it'll give you information on the temperature, it'll give you information on your speed, RPM if you want to, and you can also just change the color to anything you want on the spectrum just for fun. So if I want like a hot pink dashboard that day, I can do that. So, you know, as a human-centered designer, I really love being able to take one thing and use that in a bunch of different ways. So Minnie did a really great job, and Icon Incar did a really great job with their case study in figuring out how to use something as simple as color to convey so many bits and pieces of information. So huge plus, love that. Okay, so another thing I love with this car is how spacious it is. So you wouldn't think that because it's a Mini Cooper, right? It's a hatchback. And usually when you think hatchback, you think small, cramped, can't really fit a lot of things in there, right? Not true. So funny story, I actually just moved from Koreatown to Santa Monica and then again to North Hollywood. And all of those times I wanted to move a lot of things myself. And so I can say from experience, Pebble fits a 55-inch flat screen TV in there because that's exactly what I put in the back there. and also fits lots of moving boxes because the rear seats fold down. So she's very versatile in that sense. So Mini Coopers are great. They're 4-seaters, right? 2 doors, 4 seats, but you can fold those rear seats down if you need them to. So that's another plus. Another thing that I like is the all black design package that my car specifically has. So Mini Coopers are great. They're fun. They're cute. I like the fact that it has an all black feel to it. You know, the dashboard is black. The rims are black. You know, everything is like black, red, and chrome, which is kind of my favorite color combo personally. So it just kind of gives Pebble a little bit of an edge to it, which I really like. Now, I will say something that I don't particularly like about this car is the gas mileage on it. So this car gets about 25 mpg, 25 to 30, just kind of depends on the day. So part of this I have to keep in mind is that this car is small, so the gas tank is going to be smaller. Therefore, it's only going to hold so much gas. Now, that being said, I feel like I'm refilling the whole tank definitely once a week, sometimes twice even. Now, granted, I like to do a lot of driving. That's just what I like to do. So I'm sure that's probably part of it, but you know, just something that I feel like from the driver's perspective, I get anxiety sometimes when I'm driving and I've just filled up and you're already seeing so much gas has just already gone down and you're like, where did I even go? I don't even feel like I went that far. So sometimes I do get anxiety driving Pebble up Angeles Crest Highway. For those of you that have been up there, you know, there are no gas stations. There's not even cell phone service. So yeah, you need to make sure you have enough gas and then some, right? Because it is pretty much just you when you're up there. It's not the best feeling when you've just filled up and the instrument panel tells you, you have 350 miles left on your range, but then you've driven a couple miles or maybe 10 miles and suddenly that range has gone from 350 to like 320 or 310, right? So the mileage estimation I feel like is inaccurate. And maybe it's just the way I drive it. I feel like I get about 25 miles a gallon, which is still decent, right? That's not bad, but just something to keep in mind. If range is what you're looking for, I wouldn't recommend this car for that. But if you're looking for something that's fun, that's colorful, that feels like a go-kart, and has a lot of really cool technology on it as well, I would definitely recommend this car. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is my first review out of hopefully many, many, many more to come. Yeah, this has been a long time coming. This is something I've wanted to do for years and just finally got the nerve to kind of get up and start a whole channel and do this thing. So thank you guys for being a part of the journey. Thank you for sticking with me till the end. And yeah, we'll see you next time.